Good morning. I'm Charlene. I'm one half of the Witchy Stitchers. That's Dobby. Today is the 5th of September and it's basically 8 o'clock. I wasn't going to come to you guys until next week, but I have got a bunch of stuff that I have worked on and touched, and I knew that if I waited until next Tuesday to do this, it was going to be an absolute hour-long video, and I don't want to do that. As you guys know, Morgan posted a video earlier this week, got you caught up on where she's at with everything. So I'm going to get through these, but before I begin, I have a PSA. I need to get this off my chest. I'm going to tell you right now that some of you are probably going to get a little butt hurt, and I believe that X is over there if you want to leave. Fine with me. I have been watching some Flosstubers that I've watched for several years and thoroughly enjoy them. And a couple people have made comments on their pages about certain things. Why aren't things ironed? Why aren't things pretty for you to present to us? Why don't you have a cover photo? Why do you have to show us on your phone? Why do, there's wrinkles in it. It's not sightful for us, or, pretty for us to view. I get that as a viewer, but on the same regard, even though we make these videos because we like to share our work and we like to show what's out there, the decency of people to accept what we present to you and appreciate what we present to you should be first and foremost. 95% of stitchers in this world, and quilters, because I am both, we take care of, we appreciate, we support, we lift up our fellow crafters. So to come to those pages with derogatory comments, mean things, it's kind of hurtful, and it makes it very frustrating for those of us who are presenting our craft to the rest of the world. Another comment that I saw, a viewer, she was on a political soapbox, and that's great if you want to use your platform to speak your political views. I have mine, you have yours. It's a joy of living in the United States. We have those freedoms. I would almost bet you 3/4, if not more, of stitchers that come to watch Flosstube could absolutely care less what your stance is on the presidential election, your gubernatorial elections, your county commissioners. We are coming to see what you have to show us. Keep that in mind when you decide to get on a political rant, because it is a huge turnoff for a lot of people, and quite honestly, it's not appreciated. And I can say that wholeheartedly. Again, if you don't agree with what I say, that's your freedom. There's the door. Last thing, I actually saw this on Facebook. I thought it was funny as could be, and I thought it was quite appropriate, because there's several people I watch that they feel the need to identify themselves. My husband told me this week that because my expenditures on bills, food, college for the kids, and my many crafts, and his gun addiction, because we are gun-toting Americans, we don't have the money for the, fancy fuel, per se, that I need to identify as a Black Hawk helicopter, which is my preference. So I have decided that now I am going to identify as a premenopausal woman, and my pronouns will be try me. So, that all said, 5 minutes in, I have given my PSA. I'm going to show you all of my lovelies. I appreciate those who have stuck around, and again, if it's not for you, there's a lot of great stitchers out there to watch. So, my Ort progress. So I explained to you guys last week, I just picked these up. This one is from Joann's. I actually talked to my husband about this, and I was like, that one I did pick up at Joann's. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. I love to fill it with all my pretty strings. So yeah, love my ornaments. I only have one piece of haul. We had to run into Walmart when we took Dalton back to college. He came home for the long weekend. I think Morgan talked about that in the video. And they had crochet thread on sale. And I make pot holders. That's about the only thing I do crocheting wise. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. But this big old thing was $4. So it's going to make great pot holders. Not crazy about the white in it because the white does get dirty, but I mean, it's a pot holder. Who cares? So that's the only haul I had. I'm waiting for my August threads to come in from the Fat Quarter Shop, but they're in the mail. I think I saw they're supposed to be here on Saturday. So hopefully I'll have those to show you next video. My numbers. I am at 1,682 for the month, and for the year I am at 85,276. So, all right, so let's get started. As I told you guys last time, I am doing my 30 minutes a day of stitching, which I have been, took that inspiration from several different stitchers that do it, and I was like, okay, there's too many of them on this bandwagon for it to not be productive, and I'm really enjoying it. I have no videos on, basically no sound at all. It's just myself, my stitching, and usually the dogs are eating their breakfast while I'm doing it, so there's not any, interruptions or disturbances, and it works out great. Jinx, are you harassing your brother? When Luna starts messing with the water bowl, Jinx gets very upset with him. I'm not sure why. Anyway, so my 30-minute stitching a day is Liberty Quaker. This is by Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts. She has a YouTube channel, and I'm not sure how she sells her stuff. I don't know if she has an Etsy page or if she has an actual website, but I'm sure that it's linked on her videos. She's got some really cool stuff. Morgan's picked up several of her little birds that she wants to stitch. This is the only one of hers that has really spoke to me, but she does have some cute stuff out there. She does some really neat Halloween and Christmas stuff too. So this is where I have got to. I am almost done with this first half. So the pattern, folds out. I'm almost done with the one side. I have a little bit left on this motif. I, let's see, need to do just a smidge here on the flag. And then of course the R, and then there's part of America on here I need to finish. And I think I need to bring some more red over. But I will be officially halfway. But I finally got the border all the way around. I did that yesterday. No, excuse me, I did that this morning. I finished the white all the way around. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. This one is on my Whipco board for a finish this year, so it's working out really well to do it with the 30 minutes a day, and I am using all of the called for colors. Most of them are specialty threads. So, all right, so as I told you guys the other day, the last time I was here, I am doing a 100-day challenge to myself. So I have 100 whips. Every day I do the spin, and I work on that project for a minimum of 100 stitches. So first one that I worked on, I have my little cheat sheet here. So first one, since I saw you guys, was gathering honey, and I actually showed you the before of this. I finally got all my threads organized. I think I showed you that too. So anyway, gathering honey it's in this book. I've had it forever. And the sampler that I am working, shoot. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Let's try it this way. Ooh, much better. So there's the sampler. And I've seen this in quite a few places. I've seen it in a leaflet where that's the only pattern. I have seen it in I want to say it was Country Cross Stitch, or Jeremiah Country Cross. It was one of the older magazines that was really popular in the early 90s. I've seen it in that one, and then I saw it on, I'm trying to remember what it was on. It was on a Etsy page that they just had the pattern. Maybe they tore it out of the magazine, not really sure. But I know that it's still out there. And I've actually seen a few stitchers that have this book or that are working on this particular project. So I know it's still out there. So on this one, I put in 119 stitches. This is the one I worked on the 29th. So this is what I worked on after I saw you guys the last time. And this is just a piece of white Aida that I don't remember if I sink dyed this one or if I jar dyed this one. I don't remember. But I know I used daffodil. I don't remember if that was the only color I used or not, but I know that I used a daffodil grid dye for that one. So that one will not come back out again since it's been worked on for this year. Next one that I worked on was Louise Lalier, 1901. I love this pattern. This is just gorgeous, and it's riffled as well. And I'm still up here in this corner. I put in 120 stitches on this one, and I found out that I'm actually missing a couple threads on this one, so I need to get them picked up. But I'm not in any hurry because this one also will not get any more love. This is the only time that it's going to get touched this year. So there's 100 stitches on that one. I worked mostly on this flower. I think I came up and finished this little bud. Hey Luna, are you coming to say hi again? And then maybe this flower here too. So, and this is on a piece of 18 count white fabric. And I'm pretty sure Morgan did a shoot. I think she did a sink dye with that one. I think. I can't remember. Anyway. Okay. Next one that I worked on was August. And this is part of, oh, and if you get offended, I have very opinionated bags that I've made. So this is the one that I keep all of these in. And when I say these, I'm talking about the, I can't remember the name of them, the Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month. So this was August's, and I have August, September, November, and December left to do. So, and I can't tell you why they're not done. They're just not. So on this one, I put in 119 stitches. And I basically worked on the windows. I think I picked up this dark brown, and then I picked up, I think it's a green, 451 stick comes to mind, or 453, I can't remember. And I worked on the filling in the roof. So I was going to put these on my Whipco board this year to finish them, but I did not get that done because I had some other things that I wanted to touch more than these. And I'm glad that I didn't. These will get done sooner than later, just not today. All right, next thing that came up was Pandemic. I worked on this one for 164 stitches. This is the third time that I have started this project. I don't believe that this is, available as a freebie anymore. I know that it was a freebie when the pandemic started. but I do believe that it's still on their website. And I finally found a color way that I am really enjoying. So I took 8 different blues. And what was kind of my inspiration for this, besides seeing different ones, I saw somebody do a purple, very similar to what I'm doing, and it was gorgeous. But what really inspired me is Mandy and Sarah, and there was another person I saw the other day. Shoot. I think it was Carolyn Zook. Don't quote me on that though. They are working on, it's the pattern that, you know, like every row, specialty stitches, and they're different colors. I'm trying to remember what the name of the pattern is. I know it's got butterflies in it, and like I said, and then the specialty stitches. Anyway, but each strip is a different color, and they're gorgeous. They're so, so pretty. So I decided to choose 8 different blues. This blue right here is the variegated blue, the DMC. That's going to be the border per se. And then each row, each diagonal is a different blue, working from darkest to lightest. And like I said, I'm really, really enjoying this. I know that it's going to be a counting challenge, and a ruler is going to be my best friend when I get further down into the pattern. But I think that it's going to be very striking. Like I said, I saw one that was done in purples, and it was gorgeous. And I have some skin on my face. I apologize for being unkept this morning. I forgot to put my lotion on when I got out of the shower. I wanted to get this done because I've got a ton of stuff to get done today. All right, the other thing that, let's see, this was my 10th draw, or day 10, I should say. This is my tick-tock clock. This pattern is from now Luna and, Dobby and Jinxie are fighting. I love it. So I found this on, I think it was on eBay, probably 8-9 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. I think the pattern date down on the bottom of it is from 1979, 1980, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. No, I can't find the date on it. Anyway, I know that it's an older pattern, and it has all the special threads with it, and those greens, and it's not the reds, the greens and the yellows are almost like a wool, or they're a lot thicker thread. Anyway, I started this, and I was going to finish it for our living room, and then never got it done. Which, is it upside down? It's upside down, I'm sorry. I decided that I don't have a clock for my craft room, and I have the mechanical parts and everything for it. I just need to get it stitched so I can have Preston put it together for me. So when I worked on it this time, I did 131 stitches, and I worked on this blue up here and this blue down here, and that was basically my 131 stitches. So yeah, I was really happy with how that came together. So I want to make this a definite focus for a finish next year, because I would love to, now that I have my own craft room, I would love to get that done. And besides the fact that I would really like to have a clock in there so I can quit referring to my phone all the time. All right, next thing I worked on was daisies. This was a This is another bag that I made. This is leftover from a shirt that I had 20 some years ago. Yeah. And Morgan made the zipper pull for me, which I thought was so perfect. I can never remember where the camera's at. Wrong way, Charlene. With a little, come on, Charlene, get it together. With a little daisy on the end of it. And this is a Karen Kluba, a Rosewood Manor. A very dear friend bought this pattern for me a long time ago. I've had it for quite a while. And I'm using all of the called for specialty threads, which are mostly weeks. And this one I put in 153 stitches. This is a piece, pretty sure this is one that I had done. I think in tan and camel. I don't know, it's blowing out big time. I made it darker. Oh, there you go. So there, that's much better. So you would be able to see all the whites. It's kind of hard to see the greens, but the green around the white does show up. So I put in part of this center bit here, and then basically did most of that flower there. So, and this is another one that will not come out again because it's been touched this year. I am not in any hurry to get this one done, as I throw everything on the floor. So I'll just work on it as I go. I do enjoy the piece though, and that was 14 count. I don't know if I said it or not, but I got 153 stitches in on that one this week. Okay. I forgot to show you guys my cup. One of my football moms gave it to me for Christmas a couple years ago. All right, the last one that I touched, and so this goes back to that irony. This is another bag. This is some leftover fabric that I've had for at least a decade, if not more. And because it's the anniversary sampler, it's got a heart on the end. Again, this is another Morgan creation. She didn't make it for this bag, so I mean obviously it doesn't really match, but this bag was big enough to hold this pattern, so that's why it's in this bag. And I like the zipper pull because it's love and anniversary. So this is an anniversary sampler. I started this one back before I was keeping track of when I started things and stitch count and all that good stuff. So I know that this project is at least, well, the date on it is 2010, so I'm thinking I probably started it not very long after that. So yeah, it's an older pattern. This is one that I really want to get done, and I got to show you guys this. This will drive your OCD crazy. So, is this not the biggest rat's nest you've ever seen? And when I pulled it out and worked on it, I saw that I had not worked on this one. It was either since 21 or 22. Yeah. So what I'm going to do probably this weekend when we're watching football, because it'll be very mindless, I can do it. But see how it's got, I've written the numbers that coordinate. I am going to take these all off of here and bobbinate them and put these in a box because it's driving me nuts and I don't want my thread ruined. So this one, oh, I gotta get my paper. Oh, Poe is here. Do you want to say hi? She's on the other side of my computer. So this is my Whipco board. So ironically, so it's spun for the 100 days, for the 100-day challenge, but it is also, let's see if I can read this backwards. Blah, 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 blah. You guys are probably going to find it before I do. Yep. So I also have it on here, and it was pulled in May for Whipco for 1,000 stitches. So this one is going to stay out for a little bit longer. You'll see this one again next week because I put in the 100 stitches for my personal challenge, and then I also put in the, hang on just a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a phone call. So anyway, back to where I was. It is, I was saying, this one came out for both WIPCO and for my 100-day challenge, so it worked out great, so it can get some love. So this is where I am at now. So yesterday I put in 400 and, where'd my notebook go? 474 stitches. So I did really well. And like I said, the goal is 1,000 for the WIPCO challenge. So I did quite a bit of back stitching, and then I finished it. That was something else. I had like onesies and twosies holes. I have no idea what my thought process was the last time I worked on this, but obviously that person needs to have a coming to Jesus meeting with this person because, yeah. Anyway, I did quite a bit of back stitch. I did quite a bit of this white, and I'm trying to remember where else I worked. Mostly finished filling in this little blossom, bloom, whatever, bud, I guess you want to call it. But I feel better about this now that I've got some backstitch in on it. It doesn't look like just a blob of pretty colors. So I'm anxious to pull this one back out and finish getting the rest of the stitching in it. And like I said, you guys will see this one again next video because I'll get that stitching done on it. So yeah, I was really happy about that. Guess I better put that in that pile. Let's see. That was, I've got to mark it off my list here so I don't get messed up. The other thing that I worked on, and I'm still not done with this one. This is another one of my bags. I don't remember. I didn't write down my dates, what day I worked on this one. I know I've worked on it since I came to you last. This bag is just barely big enough for this book. So I'm talking about Teresa Winsler's The Castle. And I'm trying to remember what day I worked on it since I saw you guys last. I didn't grab that notebook. Anyway, I know that I still have approximately 200 stitches left to get done on this one for my WIPCO challenge. It's on my WIPCO for June for 1,000 stitches. So like I said, I've still got about 200, I think 184 actually, to get it done. So I worked on the tail, I worked up here, this is his claw, I worked on some of that. And then again, I don't remember if that's since I saw you or not. I know some of this back stitch is down in here in his tail. And then I worked up here in the castle and some back stitch too. So I'm not sure where I'll pick this one back up to work on. I have to work at this one. This is one of those that I got the pattern blown up because it's awful to read. I'll wait and put that up later because I just struggle with that book. I don't know if I'll finish working on his tail or if I'll try and do some more backstitch. We'll see. But hopefully you will see the rest of the 184 stitches coming in on the next video. Fingers crossed. We'll see where I get done. Like I said, I have to work on that one here at the kitchen table because I have it blown up and I literally just sprawl out across the kitchen table. So next one, I've been working on this one in the evenings. This is on my WIPCO board. I think this one is actually on there for finish from April. Can you tell I'm behind on my WIPCO? Yeah, I'm a slacker. I got behind in March with, which if you've been here for a while, you know, Preston had to have emergency surgery on his hand, and then both of the kids graduated high school and college, and then we went on a trip, and not making excuses, just I have gotten behind and I'm struggling, so maybe someday I'll get caught up. someday is just code for never. So Patchwork Crow, love this. I think this is so adorable. I'm using all of the called for words threads, and then I have the little buttons that go on it too. And I think I explained this in the last video. I worked down in his tail, so, and this is a piece of fabric that I coffee tea dyed, so it's very splotchy. I really like it. I think it's fun. That fabric, I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, I came down so I can work on some different colors. The other day when I picked it up, I don't remember what day it was. Day before yesterday. We were watching a movie. I finished off this part of his tail, and then I brought that down and worked on it there. So, but yeah, it'd be fun to get this one done, to have it, you know, since fall is in, what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? Yeah. But this one is a great TV stitch because it's 14 count, and it's very easy to read. I forgot to mention the fabric for the anniversary sampler. It actually came with the kit, and then the fabric for the dragon was some that I got from a gal that was in Wyoming. I bought it several years ago. It was not Dalton's first choice for the fabric. He wanted the kind of the grayish black one, but it was literally like 2-3 inches too short. It was wide enough, but it wasn't short. It wasn't long enough. He was bummed. So, and that was, I started it before Morgan and I started really getting serious with our dyeing our own fabrics. So, yeah. All right, next up, so I watch, and I will link the people down below that I watch, because there's quite a few of them, and there's some of them that they're my absolute favorite stitchers. I really enjoy watching them, and they are terrible for my pocketbook, but that's another soapbox. Again, that's why I can't be a Black Hawk helicopter this week. Anyway, but one of the gals that I started watching, and I've heard about her several times on another channel, but it's Carolyn Zook. I think it's called Z6 Zook Stitches. Don't quote me on that. I'll link it below. Anyway, she has a group that it's the Magazine Monthly Challenge, and I had not joined the group before. I just watched her videos, and I kept hearing about AB Singo, which is essentially, it's a play on bingo for September, using the alphabet minus Y for September back to school, blah, blah, blah. But I also wanted to do Sampler September. So I was kind of torn, and then I've got all these other me personal things that I'm trying to get done. And so I thought, I have a project that would be perfect for this, that I can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. So each month, so let me get this book out to show you. No. Oh shoot. Hang on just a second. I'm going to get up close and personal with you for a minute. This is my count board that I keep track of my counts on every day. It's a mess, but it works for me. So anyway, this is my board. And so each day she calls a different letter. And I haven't written down today's letter yet. So what I thought I would do, which, work with me here, you'll get it. This is from the August 97 Needle Crafts Cross Stitch Collection magazine. And yes, this is familiar. I'm going to show you that one in just a moment. So this is called the Heart Sampler. And this is the sampler. I started this on Valentine's Day this year. And I thought, okay, so this is where you got to work with me. Samplers have alphabets. Not all, but most. Samplers have alphabets. Every one of these pertains to a sampler. See where I'm going with this? So I am very behind. I think I put in 9 stitches the other day because I am starting to do this. This is literally where I'm at. So I did from the top down to here in February. That was my start. And then the other night I put in 9 stitches, and then I got a phone call and got interrupted, and I didn't get to finish doing any more stitching, which was fine. but I need to get caught up because I need to do 100 stitches a day for this group. So potentially I could knock out 2,500 stitches, because 25 days, and make a dent. And hopefully in the middle of all this, it comes up on my spin wheel for my personal 100-day challenge, so then it's a win-win. With me? Yeah, you get it. Anyway, so that's where I am at on that one. That's why that's on my rotation. Hopefully you will see that again next week if I am able to make that work. Last project I worked on, and again that's why I say you're going to see this again. This is my thatch cottage, and I started this, I don't know when I started it. I'm thinking 12 or 13. It has languished for a long time. So I decided to put this one in. Why are you guys fighting? Cats. I decided to put this in for my 12-month challenge. So I divided the pattern into essentially 12. So 12 across, 12 stitches across, and then the length of the pattern down. It's basically a little over 3,000 stitches a month is what it comes out to be. This is, so this first row of 12 was August, so this next row of 12 is September. So I worked on it down here because I've been trying to work from the top to the bottom because it's very confetti heavy, and so by working this way I can build off of it. And then if I have some left over, like last night I worked on this dark pink and I filled in what I could, you know, moving up. Well, I was going to have to jump quite a bit or cut off, and I didn't want to do that, so then I just trailed over and I started working in this one, which comes over, I think it might even come over into like part of November. I know for sure October, maybe part of November. So that's where I'm at on this one. Like I said, it'll come up 12 wide for September. So I'll work on that every day until, well, it will get worked on to get a finish on that strip for September. So yeah, that's my, and that one makes a really nice piece to work on too when I'm watching football or the news or whatever, because even though I need to focus on it, it's 18 count, it's light fabric, and that's just a piece of, actually I think that's cream or maybe an off-white. Again, I've had that forever. So that being said, I want to, moving forward, I want to continue with my 30 minutes of stitching, which is, I'm really happy with the progress, and you know, maybe I can actually get Liberty finished in September. That'd be cool. But hopefully it comes up for the spin on my wheel. And I know you guys are familiar with it, but it's just the random, and of course it's going to blow out, but you create your wheel. Anyway, it's called Spin a Wheel. And I went in and I put in all 100 of my projects, and then every day I spin, and then I delete that one so it doesn't mess up the spin rotation. And then every day I do that so I can work on something different. So far it's working out really well. I want to continue on my 12-month project, which I mentioned is the thatch cottage. Get that done, and then of course ABC and go with the magazine monthly challenge group. We'll see how that works. I haven't done challenges for a long time. I kind of found that they, I don't know, they, you know, like this week, one of the challenges, you know, work on a dragon. Well, maybe I don't feel like working on the dragon, or maybe I don't have a dragon, or something along those lines. And so it kind of got kind of frustrating. And I am very much, you know, I have things that I want to focus on working on, like my thatch cottage, or you know, or focusing on a finish. And so if it doesn't fit into that group, then I kind of feel bad that I'm not working on that, and you guys get where I'm going with that. So anyway, like I said, I've watched several Flosstubers. I found a couple new Flosstubers this last week. I have not subscribed to their channel yet. I'm still a little bit on the fence yet if I'm gonna follow them. But I have one that I found that she does a ton of samplers, and she's kind of a different duck, but her work is incredible. So yeah, kind of. And then I found another gal in the UK that she does other fiber arts, not quilts so much, but like other fiber arts. She's got some incredible work too. So it's kind of fun to kind of step out of my comfort zone from the ones that I follow all the time, and see what other people are working on. It seems like there's a lot of us that are jumping on the Sampler September bandwagon right now, because there's some gorgeous samplers out there. So yeah, anyway. All right, I have went on for 41 minutes. This video is much longer than I thought, but or wanted it to be, but I wanted to get this done because I knew if I waited and came back on Tuesday, I was going to have 20 some projects, and I did not want to do that. So I will call it good. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming and supporting our channel. And just so you guys know, because this was a comment that was made a while back, and I corrected it as, very nicely, but this lady had tagged us because she thought that we were the Witchy Stitcher. There's not an S at the end. The Witchy Stitcher is her own person. She's got some phenomenal cross stitches. I think she has a Patreon. She's got some really cool stuff. She has nothing to do with us. We have nothing to do with her. Just very common name minus the S at the end. We're plural. She's singular. Witchy Stitchers, as in Morgan and I, as in my daughter, that is in Kansas, that had the video earlier in the week, for those of you that don't know. So don't get those two confused. But she does have some really cool stuff, so I do recommend, if you like a little bit of the darker side of humor and things like that, go check her out, 'cause she's pretty cool. But other than that, I think, again, that's all I have. So I will bid you a wonderful day, and again, thank you for sticking around and watching what I have to say. And just remember, be kind. Bye, guys.